Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the adorable Tiny Textures Newsboy cap. We're going to be making it in a 6 to 12 month size. All you need to get started is a 6.5mm hook and some worsted weight yarn. I will leave a complete list of supplies below so you can gather up your supplies and join me when you're ready. Okay, so all we need to get started is some worsted weight yarn and a 6.5mm hook. Today I'm going to be using Lion Brand's Woolies in oatmeal. Okay, so the first thing we're going to, and grab a stitch marker or anything that you can use to mark your stitches. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is chaining 2. Okay, so we're just going to do our slip knot. Chain 2, and then we're going to be working 8 half double crochet in the first chain. 1, oops. I was just working on a stocking with much heavier yarn and a big hook, and now my fingers feel like they're not adjusting to the smaller. Does that ever happen to you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we need 1 more. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is working the hat top down, and we're going to be working our single crochets, our increase rounds in single crochets. But first we just have to do 1 more increase round, which is going to be work in double crochet, half double crochets. So we're going to work 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. So we're bringing it from 8 stitches to 16 stitches. Just grab my stitch marker, put it in there. So at the end of round 2, we should have 16 half double crochets. I'm really having a tough time talking today. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward through this so you don't have to watch me doing every stitch. Okay, so we just finished round 2. We want to confirm that we have 16 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so I do have 16 stitches. Now at this point, we are going to be joining with a slip stitch and turning. And we're going to start working on our texture. Okay. So just going to join with a slip stitch and chain 1 and turn. So this is like, I guess I'll call it a modified crunch stick, because we're not actually working the pattern on both sides, because we're using some of those rounds to create increases. So for this one, we're going to be placing a half double crochet in the first stitch, and we can mark that with our stitch marker, even though it is pretty easy to see, obviously, where the round starts and ends. The next one is going to be a slip stitch, then a half double crochet, and then a slip stitch. And that's how you're going to work the entire round, just a half double crochet and a slip stitch. We're not increasing in this round, so you should have 16 stitches at the end of it. So half double crochet, single crochet. So I'll just finish working this round and we'll meet up and confirm that we have 16 stitches. Okay, so we're at the end of round 3 and we're just going to confirm that we have 16 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. So now we're going to flip the work over and you're going to see the texture starting. You can see the little cross stitches. Oh, sorry, we're going to join first, and then we'll flip over. All right, so we're just going to join to that first stitch with a slip stitch, chain 1, and turn. Now for round 4, we're actually going to be doubling our stitches, so we're going to be taking it from 16 to 32, which means we're going to be working 2 single crochets into every stitch around. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and we'll just keep working that way. Now just be careful when you're working into the half double crochet that you don't catch this stitch right here, this little stitch. You want to work above that so that you see, if you work that in, you're going to lose the texture. So just make sure that you're working into those stitches right there. Okay, so I'm going to continue working this round. And when we meet up, we should have 32 stitches at the end of round 4. Okay, so I just finished round 4 and I have confirmed that I have 32 stitches. So we are going to join with a slip stitch again to the first single crochet, and we're going to chain 1 and turn. And again, we're going to be working on one of the texture rounds. So the texture is always worked when the wrong side of the hat is facing you. So for this round, we're going to be working the half double crochet and then the slip stitch in every stitch around, and we should have 32 stitches by the end of round 5. So we're going to work a half double crochet and then a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet and a slip stitch in the next stitch. So just keep it working them this way, 1 half double crochet, 1 slip stitch, and I will meet up with you at the end of the round, and we're going to confirm that we have 32 stitches. Okay, so I just finished round 5 and I have confirmed that I have 32 stitches. So we're going to be joining again and slips with a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now round 6 we are going to do an increase, so we're going to be working in single crochets, and we're going to single crochet in the first stitch, and we're going to double crochet, or sorry, 2 single crochets in the next, and I work these a little bit tight. 1, 2, and see, you can see how the texture's already started, and that's one of the things that I love about this pattern, is that the texture starts from the very top of the hat. Okay, so we're going to work a single crochet and then 2 single crochets. I keep leaning into my light here. I have to back off a little bit. So 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets. So you're going to work that same pattern all the way around, and you should have 48 stitches by the end of round 6. So 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So I'm going to finish up this round and then we'll meet up and make sure that we have the right amount of stitches, and then go on to round 7. Okay, so I just finished my increase round, round 6, and I have confirmed that I have 48 stitches. So again, we're going to be joining with a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn. In fact, you're going to be doing that for every round in this hat. Okay, so we're just going to join with a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now we're working with the wrong side facing us, and we're going to be doing the texture of the hat for this round. So we're just going to place a half double crochet in the first stitch and a slip stitch in the next, half double crochet and a slip stitch in the next, and you're going to work that again for the entire round. And at the end of round 7, you want to make sure that you still have 48 stitches. Okay, so I'll finish up this round and meet up with you for our last increase round, which is going to be round 8. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so I just finished round 7 and I have confirmed that I have 48 stitches. So you can see we have got another round of the textured stitch, and we have one more increase round to do, which again will be worked in all single crochet. So I'm just going to join to that first stitch with a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of a hard time with my light here. You can see I'm struggling. Okay, so for round 8, what we're going to be doing is working 1 single crochet in the first 5 stitches and then 2 single crochet in the next. So we're going to go 1, 2, I always struggle with that second stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to work the 2 single crochets, and that will be your increase. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then 2 single crochet in next. So I'm going to finish up round 8, and at the end of round 8 you should have 56 stitches. Okay. Okay, so I just finished round 8. That's our last increase round. And so what we're going to be doing now is joining with a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn, and we're going to be working our texture round. So we're going to be working a half double crochet, then a slip stitch, and we're going to continue to work this pattern all the way around. So you want to make sure that you have 56 stitches at the end of this round. Okay, so I'll just continue on and then we'll meet up for the end of round 9. Okay, so I just finished round 9 and I've confirmed I have 56 stitches. Now we're going to join with a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn, and for round 10 we're just going to be working a single crochet in every stitch around. Okay. I'm going to be leaving you now, and all you need to do is continue to work rounds 9 and 10 until the Newsboy cap measures 5.5 inches in length. Okay, so I've just finished working all my rounds, and my hat measures from the top to the bottom a little bit longer than 5.5 inches, but I'm just going to go with it. Or am I? Wait a second. Oh, there. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I just finished the rounds of my hat, and it measures 5.5 inches from the top to the bottom. And so now I'm ready to change to my 5.5 millimeter hook, do my final round of the hat. So we're going to just join with a slip stitch, and then we're going to get started on the brim. So we're just going to join and turn and do one round of single crochet all the way around. And really the purpose of switching to the 5.5 millimeter hook is I feel like it gives the hat a nicer shape, and also at the bottom it's going to be stretched a little more, hopefully not too much if it's a wee baby. It just allows for a little bit of stretching without the hat getting too big. So I'm just going to finish off this round and then we'll meet up and we'll work on the brim together. Okay, we will see you soon. Oh, I love this color too. Okay, so I'm at the end of my round and I'm just going to join with a slip stitch and we're going to fasten off here. Okay, we'll leave that tail so we can weave it in. And then we're going to start on our brim. So what we're going to do is we are going to count 15 stitches from the fasten off point. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're going to join the yarn there. And we want to do that just to make sure that this back seam runs down the back of the head and not down the side or the front. Okay, so we're just going to join with a slip stitch. And then what we're going to be doing is we are going to be working a single crochet in the front loop only. So let me see if I can, oh, I'm really blurry. What is going on? Okay, so I'm going to just zoom in there so I can show you. Let's see if it stays in focus. Good. Okay, so we're going to be working in the front loop only, and this here is their front loop and this is your back loop. And the reason we're working in the front loop is just to give the brim just a little bit of lift. I'm going to back out again. Okay, we're going to give the brim a little bit of lift. So we'll go and we're going to work 24 stitches across. So just, oops. Okay, so that's one. Just give your yarn a little, the right yarn a little tug. 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to fast forward this because you don't need to watch me working in every stitch. Okay, so I have worked in the front loops of the 24 stitches, and in the 25th I'm just going to work through both stitches. So let me show you here what that's done. So I'm going to see if I can zoom in. All right, so you can see here, that's your back loop that you would normally work into. And I'm hoping that you can see here how this sort of bends up a little bit. Anyways, when you do it, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, that it doesn't exactly lay flat. All right, so let's get started on row 2 of the brim. So now that we've added all our stitches across, what we're going to be doing now is actually decreasing, and that's going to create the rounded edges of the brim. So we're going to be single crocheting 2 together, and we're going to do that by inserting the hook, pulling the yarn through, and then just going right into our next stitch and pulling it through. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to be working a single crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to be doing an increase, which is going to again help fan out the brim. And then we are going to be doing a single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to be working 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So doing exactly as we did over here. So 2 single crochets. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to be working a single crochet together. So single crocheting 2 stitches together. And actually, let me back up and show you how to do that again. So we're going to insert the hook, and pick up the yarn, insert into the next stitch, pick up the yarn again, yarn over and through all 3 stitches, and then we're just going to work a single crochet in that last stitch, and we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now, because we did the decreases at the ends and then we did the increases in the middle, you should still have 26 stitches. Alrighty, you would not believe the day I have had trying to record this video with people coming in and out of the room, opening and closing the doors. It has been insane. But anyways, we are nearing the end and I am so excited about that. So we are gonna go on to row 3, and this one's just gonna be a decrease row. So we are going to, in the first stitch, we're gonna single crochet 2 together. So we're gonna insert, pick up our yarn, insert again, pick up our yarn, and then we're going to pull it through all 3 loops. And then we're going to work a single crochet in every stitch across until we get to the last 3 stitches, because then we're going to be working that single crochet decrease at the end there. Yes, I should mention that single crochet 2 together is the same as a single crochet decrease. So let's just go all the way along. I'm going to pause this. It's getting noisy again, so I'm going to pause and meet up with you at the last 3 stitches. Okay, so we are at the last 3 stitches, and I just got to mention, look at the lighting and how it shows the texture of this hat. The shadows are just falling perfectly right now. Okay, so we're at the last 3 stitches. We're going to do a single crochet 2 together, or a single crochet decrease. I'm going to pick up the yarn, and yarn over and pull it through, and then single crochet in that last stitch. Okay, we only have 2 more rows left of the brim. We want to count and make sure that we have 24 stitches across. So I'm just going to do that, and then we'll meet up and we will move on to row 4. Okay, so you're going to see my band on here because I was just editing my video and realized that my husband called me in the middle of row 4 and I never turned my camera back on. So I've just taken that out and we're going to start on row 4 now. So this row is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to be working increases and decreases. So at the end of the row, we're still going to have 24 stitches. Okay, so I'm just going to do my chain 1 and turn, and we're going to start row 4 by working 2 single crochets together. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, oopsie, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to put 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. And then we're going to work a single crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, oops, sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we are going to do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to be placing a single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. After we work those 4 stitches, we're going to single crochet 2 together, and then we're going to work a single crochet in the last stitch. Okay, and then we are on our last row of the brim. I hope you're all enjoying this video. If you are, I would really love a thumbs up so I know I'm doing it right. And be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be releasing a lot more videos over, well, hopefully moving forward. So I'm trying for 1 a week. And if there's something in my store that you want to see a video of, let me know because I might choose that one next. Okay, so row 5, we're going to start working 2 single crochets together. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 18 stitches. I will fast forward through this so you don't have to watch me single crochet over 18 stitches. Okay, so we're at the last 3 stitches. We're going to single crochet those 2 together. And then we are going to work a single crochet in that last stitch. And this is where we're going to fasten off and weave in our ends, and then we'll move forward with the rest of the hat. Okay, so the final part of the hat is just working a round of single crochet. All that does is it just gives it a nice clean look up the side edges where it's a little bit jagged from where we were doing our decreases and whatnot. So we're just going to join that with a slip stitch at the center back seam, and I'm going to work a single crochet all the way around. So I'm actually going to pause the video until I get to the corner where the brim meets up, and then I'll show you what I do there. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so I'm at the corner where the brim meets the hat, and I just want to show you what I do here to keep the brim standing out from the hat nicely. I'm actually going to work 2 single crochets right in the corner there where it joins to the brim. And what that does is it takes some of the tension off in that corner. And then we're just going to work up the sides along the top. And I'll also do 2 single crochets at the corner here where we're going around the edge there. And that just gives it a nice finishing as well. So let's see. See how that looks so much nicer? So that's the side that we've done, and then this is what it used to look like. So quite a difference. Okay, so I'll just work along the front and I'll meet up with you again for the other side of the band, but I'm going to pause it for now. Okay, so I'm just coming to the other side of the brim. So just before that last stitch, I'm going to work 1, and then I'm going to work 2 in that very last stitch, which is going to help me come around to the side of the brim. Okay, and just work down the side. And we are going to work 2 when we get to the bottom of the brim where the brim meets the hat. Right here we're going to put in 2. Okay. So I'm going to finish working till that center, and then I'm going to show you how to shape the brim, and then we'll move on and we'll make a little band and attach it to the hat. Now, one thing I want to mention before you go away and leave me for the rest of this video, we're making a hat right now that's for a baby that's 6 to 12 months. At that age, they definitely are going to be pulling things off their head and putting things in their mouth. I do not recommend buttons. They can rip those off and choke on them. So when I do my baby hats and you see the buttons, those are normally newborn sizes or they're photo props and they'll have people with them all the time. So I'm not going to be doing buttons for this. I'm just going to show you how I tack my band on. So we'll make the band and tack it on together. Okay, and yeah, so I'll meet up with you soon. Okay, so I'm at the center back seam again. All I'm going to be doing is joining with a slip stitch, fastening off, and then we are just going to weave in all our ends at this point. So this is all I do now just to shape my brim. I just pull it out a little bit and give it a nice shape. And that's our little newsboy. Now here you'll see here how it looks a little square. I'll just give that a little nudge too. All right. Looks like a little conductor's cap actually. I love this one. Okay, so I'm going to weave in my ends and I'm going to still play with my brim, and then you'll see actually when I take the photos how I shape it, and then we'll move on and we'll make the band. Okay, the last thing that we're going to be doing now is the band that's going to go across the top of the brim. So we're going to use the 5.5 millimeter hook, and you can chain till it's your desired length. Usually a good rule of thumb is to chain it for as long as you made the brim. So we did it at 24 stitches, and that will bring it just to the edge of each side of the brim. So I'm going to chain 24. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to place a double crochet into the third chain from the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to double crochet in there and into each of the chains across. So I'm just going to do that until I get to my last double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet up with you at the end of this. I'm actually going to pause the video. Okay, so I've worked the double crochet into each of my chains, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into the bottom of that double crochet. Okay, and then just to finish off the band and make it look a little bit nicer, I'm going to be working a slip stitch all the way around. So just all the way across the bottom of the chain. And then what that does is it makes the bottom match the top. Okay, so you can sort of see that there, hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then all we have to do is just attach it to the hat. And so I can do that quickly with you guys if people haven't done it before. So I'll meet up with you at the end of this. Okay, so I've worked my slip stitches all the way across, and then the last thing we're going to do is just join with one last slip stitch and fasten off. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a longer tail on this end because we want to use that to attach the band to the hat. So we're just going to thread our yarn through, and then I like to just check the position of the band. And you'll see it kind of curls a little bit, so you can just stretch it out. And I'm going to actually work it this way. Like this. Oh, that looks so cute. And I'm just going to take a few tacks. You can see how it lines up right with the edge of the brim. So I'm just going to put this through here. Okay, so I'm just going to take some tiny stitches here and attach it just with a few, and then we'll do the same on the other end. Just flip that over, fasten this off with a couple of stitches. Okay, and then we'll just do this one on this side here. Okay, and we are done. And there we have it, our finished Newsboy cap. So this one is going to fit 6 to 12 months. And the pattern is for free on my blog, and I've got more sizes on there, so head on over and check it out. Be sure to tag me on Instagram at PrettyDarnAdorable so I can see what you made. And until next time, and stay cozy, my friends. I'll see you soon.